to be chatting to Bridget Lebala, who is not only a really incredibly talented textile designer, she's also a partner in a business that produces the most incredible designer leather bags. And I guess she'll tell you about that a smidge later. But more importantly than all of that, Bridget is building South Africa's first 100% female, Black female-owned textile house. And her journey to this goal, lofty, lofty goal, is incredibly intense. And man, it takes a strong person to do that. So I'm going to hand over to Bridget. You can introduce yourself to people and then we'll get started.
Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Bridget Lebala from Limpopo, small town of Mokopane. And I'm a qualified textile designer and product developer. So yeah, and what? Where shall I start?
Okay, I think
as you ask me the questions, then I'll then it all.
No worries, no worries. Let's go. So I think that the space that you play in, firstly, is incredibly challenging, right? Apart from it being predominantly, well, historically, a place where not a lot of people of color play in, I'd like to know, maybe first of all, what was your segue into this industry? As a person of color, how did you manage to get a foot in the door in this industry?
Okay, first and foremost, I'm not really chuffed to be the first Black, my business to be the first female-led in South Africa. I'm actually perturbed because you look at, in 25 years of democracy, why should I be the first? And within that 25 years, I also spent 13 years in the industry and watching, and nobody was coming about this whole thing. All the people of color, they just wanted to become decorators, which is fine, it's fine. So I just wanted to say, look, the idea could be incredible. And the other thing that saddens me is the fact that even being the first, it doesn't have perks because I'm a retail in actual fact or a wholesaler. So, getting funding is a bit tedious. Anyway, so this whole thing of what the system is doing to us, I'm sure it would be a topic for another day.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I can say regarding how it came about for me to be the first in the industry. As a kid, I wanted to work like Rich Forrester from The Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh my word,
yeah.
That's a throwback.
Yeah, as a fashion designer, he was sketching some really cool stuff and his family owning a fashion house. So and me as well, being from a family of business, I grew up behind the counter, helping at my grandparents' shop. So that idea of, working like Rich Forrester and also owning a fashion house, it kind of like, it was planted in my head so much that the way I really wanted to be like Rich, I even started calling my mom mother, the way Rich used to call Stephanie. And right now, I tell you, may her soul rest in peace, everyone had started to call her mother. Like the relatives, everybody just started calling her mother. And it was that kind of inspiration. So, but then I don't think I'm far from being like Rich, because right now I'm owning a fabric house and I'm not a fashion designer, but a textile designer. So, and one other thing was that I'd like to thank my late grandparents and my mother, because what happened is they encouraged me. Back in the day, being a creative was not like the thing, especially with people of color, within the people of color. You'd be expected to become a lawyer or a doctor, but they didn't do that to me. They encouraged me when they were seeing me that I can be able to draw them while they were sitting in the living room, and yeah, it was that kind of thing that they let me be myself, and that is the gift that you can, if you can, give to your children, is to let them
Right.
be,
Right.
and then just took that, like, when you give a dog a bone and they just run with it. So I
Yeah.
just I just did that. Then it was really challenging because I then in high school had to do mathematics and science,
Right.
and that
Right.
had to do with creativity at all. But
Wow.
I'm grateful for that, because by now I still live with the law of Pythagoras. If you like,
Oh,
say,
really? Yes, in design, it's important.
that's how I'll calculate things in my life, things at work. And again, I think that also actually assisted in identifying the gap,
Mm-hmm.
law of Pythagoras type of thing. And then
Mm.
from there, I moved. Obviously, I was having this thing of becoming a fashion designer. You know,
Right.
I mean, it's really, really not a cliche to say follow your dreams and
Mm-hmm.
passion. I've
Mm-hmm.
done that all of my life, secretly, and even with some other people, I did share that. But then now, it's following your dream. It comes with its, tricks and all sorts of challenges. And in saying that, what happened is with Technical Pretoria, then Technical Pretoria, I'm giving away my age. When I wanted to become a fashion designer, they said to me, "Oh well, bring your own garment." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've got cool clothes." They're like, no, doc, you have to make up the whole garment yourself. And I was like, "Hey, I don't know how to even hold a needle.
Yeah.
Please, I can't do that." And then the next thing was like, "Okay, I don't know, mother, how can I do this?" And then University of Pretoria, they accepted me to do fine arts. And I was like, gee, that's boring. I want style. What can I do? Until one uncle of mine popped in at Technical Pretoria, the arts campus, and I told them about me. They were like, "Tell her to come tomorrow." I had to not sleep organizing a portfolio. And when I got there, they were like, "Yes, come on, go. We like you. We like your stuff." So
Right.
luckily then the system was quite great, because in the first year, you are expected to do everything from graphic design, interior design, painting, all sorts of arts, ceramics and sculpture, and textiles then was introduced to me in that regard. And as I looked,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my word, that is closer to fashion, because textiles design even shared the same department building with fashion. And
Mm-hmm.
then the next year you go to choose. So I choose the stream of textiles. That's where it all started. And
Mm.
I never looked back. That's when I met Adrian Furstenberg, my partner right now in the handbag business. So he's also a textile designer. So from then, finishing off, graduating, and I also waitressed in the meantime as a student. I was a waitress because the course was really expensive. I needed some extra money to go to the movies and so forth and so forth. And yeah, to
Right.
buy my car. Yeah. So then after I went to KZN to study product development.
Mm-hmm.
So there's what it was quite interesting, because we were a group of different designers from different backgrounds. Fashion, graphic designers, and then we had to to learn how to become product developers with the crafters in
Okay.
and around KZN. It
Right.
was really interesting, I must say, and I'm grateful to have done that. After that, I worked for a year as a product developer. And this actually helped me to now partner with Adrian Furstenberg. I'm not a handbag designer. He is a
Mm-hmm.
handbag designer, award-winning
Mm-hmm.
handbag designer. But then my product development skills made Adrian be able to identify me to be able to remain with his baby here in South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So working as a product developer within the crafts, I did that for a year, and I realized that it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I left without a job. Went back to, I left in Mpumalanga, went back to Pretoria and worked at a classified newspaper, junk mail. I mean, I used to sell space for people to sell their dogs, you know.
Jeez. Yeah, we have to do what we have to do, hey?
I know, but then by saying this, how I'm telling you is actually everything I'd say with such confidence. It's the build up to the journey that I've embarked on right now of entrepreneurship. So it actually started when I was small, when I was tagging along with my granddad, and he was in a way chaperoning, you know, like you know, I was just watching him as a businessman, how he dealt even with the white people then during the years of apartheid, and how he dealt with his suppliers. You know, those kind of things are kind of like, you know, look at that. And again, my conversations I would have with my grandmother, because she was also a business partner to my granddad. I'll be like, Grams, why are we not selling Tinkies? You remember Tinkies?
Yes, I loved them.
So that's why I like to work around with my granddad, because he buys such for me. And I'll be like, but then why are we not selling Tinkies at the shop? And my grandmother would be like, Bridget, it's because the people here, because the shop is in the village, it's like the people here, they cannot afford it. But can you tell what was that already? I only read about it, realized right now when I read books of business and marketing that she was already teaching me of the LSM, you know? So she had shown me that, okay, people, customer behavior and so forth. And, you know, so only now I'm understanding that, oh my word, those people, that couple was really chaperoning very nicely, and they did a great job. Okay. And the one other thing is also of product identity, and also, I mean, I would see them stocking up on luxurious stuff like Top Deck chocolates only in December.
Right.
You know why? You know
people
why?
got bonuses to buy.
People from Johannesburg, they're coming back home, then they have the budget to buy such things for them. But other than that, they had the basics. You understand?
Incredible.
So it really started right there. And then when I got in my entry to the industry of now fabric, Cremaville, and then it started about 14 years ago. Yeah. And then that's when I say, people, when they ask me right now that, oh, when did you start your business? Chambray, by the way. Chambray, by the way, guys, it's a type of fabric. You can look it up. It's a type of fabric, and it is a luxurious fabric because it's one of those Ralph Lauren fashion house. They really like it. So, but then and then the blue color on my logo is because I love the color blue. So, and then I looked it up. I found out that there's the houses like Ralph Lauren, they would call it chambray blue. So that's why I derived the name of my company. So what I'm trying to say, what I was saying to you is that when someone asks me, Bridget, when did you start with Chamberlain? I would be like, you know, I would say to you, maybe 12 years ago. But literally it's two years ago in 2018. But
the journey has been that long.
You know why I say that? Because 13 years ago, I worked in the showroom of one of the leading fabric house in South. Okay, that's when that was the entry. And then the year after, they let me become a consultant on the road. And I tell you guys, you need to respect the consultant. Oh, the common word, the reps.
Yes.
The rep. I became a rep. The reps are business owners, can I tell you? Because what happens is your employee gives you the tools. You go out there, you gather your own client lists. You go out with the tool and you make your own salary. If you're gonna lie by the pool, then you're gonna make that kind of money, the wet money, if there's such. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
already then I had started putting together my client list, which and my black book. I mean, you've heard of the black book. Yes, that's right now. Some people will be like, oh, Bridget, just the Google of this industry. Because they'll be like, Bridget, do you know someone that can do this? And I'll be like, okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go,
Right,
type of
right.
thing. So that's why I say it started 15 years ago. Until now, it's been officialized. In 2018, when I left my previous employer, that's when I then officialized Chamberlain. That's when I joined forces with Adrian, and it hasn't been easy at all because at the time when I left, I was inspired and braved up by my mother's condition. I had to give care to my cancer ill mom, and it was not going to be possible to be working for someone and giving care to her because every Monday we had a chemo session that I had to take her to. So,
Right.
and I mean, I remember when I went shopping in Italy for the fabrics, I had to leave her in hospital, and she was there for a month and a half.
Oh, shame.
Called her every day when I was there. I remember my business partner was like, Bridget, are you sure you wanna go there? I don't wanna get a phone call when we're like in Dubai and then you have to attend birth because I cannot do this when I get to Italy. I prayed about it so much that when I got a phone call the 1 o'clock morning that I had to go to the hospital and see her, it was getting all complicated. That same morning, my ex-employer wanted to do a tea party, farewell party for me, which I declined. And I had to go and apply for the visa as well. It was really, really tough. I promise you that the toughness, and it doesn't get better. It's not about the money or what, it's all these little things that, crop up and like get conduced by this and that. And you just have to be strong. And that's one thing that I would tell the young people coming behind me, that you gotta, if you wanna become an entrepreneur, you gotta develop a pair of words. I mean, right now, after I've developed many goals.
Well, Adrian has always said you have balls of steel, and I believe that.
I promise it's many of them that when someone says, Bridget, you the man, I'm like, yeah, because I've got them there, So now like I said, 2018 was really hard for me because that's when I embarked on this journey. I remember anxiety was horrific. I even had a burst vein in my eye because I was anxious. I mean, the doctor said to me, you just have to let go of the stress. There's nothing I can give you to put in your eye. You are stressed. And then I knew that's when I had to then even resign. Okay. And then, at some point, other things that inspires me is that you have to look back from your journey when you think of quitting. So I've been looking back. It's been interesting, and there's a lot of serendipity that's been happening with me because how I met the supplier, it was so funny, cool. Okay, yeah, I don't know, sure. I was still working at my previous employer, and this client of mine canceled our meeting in the morning. Did I get peeved? I was angry until a phone call from an old client. Like I said, relationships for me are great. And the client's relationship, can I tell you, they're based on friendships.
Oh, yeah, really?
I said it. I promise you. That's my experience in all this. So this client phoned me. She was like, and I was like, oh my word, you still have my numbers? Because he was like, are you still at your other previous employer? I'm like, no, I've left 5 years ago already. What's happening? And then he's like, oh no, okay, where are you? And I told him, like, oh, I'm at this other employer now, same as that one, but different business model. You see, that there, then the other thing is coming about. I learned 2 different models in the industry. wherein now I'm able to come in between. It's an opportunity, right? Okay. So now he was like, okay, fine. Wherever you are, where's your boss? I'm like, why? He's like, oh no, there's this guy. He's at the wrong place. This guy says he can manufacture fabric from scratch. And this gathering here is for engineers, construction, and. And I was like, oh, really? That guy, by the way, he's looking for me. I promise you. I said that. And he was like, okay, fine, come. We're at the Hilton Hotel here in Rivonia. I was like, sure, I'm there. I got there, I met the guy, and the rest was history. The rest, we are now associates. Now he's supplying me. And
that's amazing.
It's so great because the language was so easy. When he showed me his samples, I identified a lot of them. I was like, oh my word, this is Ralph Lauren Interiors. And he was like, he's my client. I'm like, ooh, this is so-and-so, this is, so, and then he got, immediately, he had confidence in me. He believed me in me. He was like, and that same day, he left for Italy. It was his last day, and I was the only client in Africa that he could meet from that whole seminar that happened. So it was one of those days, I say, serendipity, you never know. And if you are thinking of becoming an entrepreneur, make sure that you are ready at all times with your tools, because at the time, I could be able to write some things on a letterhead on my letter. I was registered already. Everything was kind of like almost in place for me to say yeah, or someone to say yeah to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that was it. I'm not sure. What else would you like to know?
So yeah, it's true what you say about being able to be ready. For me, I don't believe in luck. I think that luck is simply, it's preparedness meets an opportunity. And you've been in the industry for such a long time, and you developed all these incredible contacts. You nurtured these contacts, and you knew exactly how to segue into the industry. For a lot of entrepreneurs, it's the how-to that is a little bit confusing for them. You see the end goal, but you're not really sure how to get there. It's.
Can I get in between there? Can I interrupt you there? I'm sorry. What you just said is so imperative, because how I've been working along this journey of prepping up is that I always tell myself, or I've carried this phrase, that the direction is important to me than the speed. It's 100%. Important. The speed, I cannot even be like, this thing should be running by now or overnight. No, that's why I'm saying I'm even including the 13 years, because it's the direction. I remember I used to go around telling people my vision. I didn't care, because other people, they were like, Bridget, don't talk about it, someone's gonna steal your idea. I'm like, yeah. That's, when you're passionate, you just blab all the time about this thing. I used to tell people, but then I was strategic as well. I was trying to whisper to those who could help me with, investing in me and my vision. So I used to, that 13 years, the whole 13 years before I could officially open Shambhala, I used to talk to people. I mean, the other day, there's a lady in the same building with me now. I didn't even know that she went and lived in Scotland. I went to say to them, hey guys, by the way, I'm here, I'm upstairs by you. And they're like, what you doing? And I told them, and they said, it was like, OMG, Bridget, did you do it? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, remember when we were your clients in Hyde Park, and you were telling us that you want to open a fabric house? I was like, really? Did I? Oh, I know I've been telling you, a whole lot of people, even you, wow. And she was so impressed. I'm like, gosh, I can talk too much. Hey, flip, I didn't know that. I told a whole lot of people about this vision. And mainly, again, hoping that someone could, believe in me and sort of invest in me, which ultimately it did happen. I'm very lucky now to have someone who have invested in me, because our government is refusing. There's a lot of red tape for a kind of business like mine. So hopefully one day I'll be able to sit them down and show them and explain to them how this is, and how is this thing of theirs killing the textiles industry in South Africa. You understand?
I actually
because,
just,
I mean, it's
one
all
of the,
about industrialization.
that's
Yeah,
right. That's right. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was, in terms of governmental support, and we know that industry after industry has seen massive damage, due to cheap imports. And I want to know, in terms of your sourcing, in terms of your manufacturing, in terms of government legislation, how is that affecting your business? And let's just talk about pre-COVID, because right now nothing makes sense in terms of industry at all. We'll talk about post-COVID in a moment, but like pre-COVID, how were all of these factors, translating to business or no business for you?
It's all these things. It's a mishmash because they just contradict each other. Can I tell you? It's like they're saying to us, industrialization, you guys must manufacture. We give money to those who manufacture. Okay. Now, last year I was at the R&B Art Festival at Fair with my ex-lecturer. I mean, she's a guru of textiles, color versatile. Right. She's amazing. We did the fair together and we had a lot to talk about. It was incredible. I thank God for that. And we did reminisce a lot. And she was like, Bridget, remember you were sitting by the door in class, you were sitting by the door all the time. Why? I'm like, yes, because when you know how creative you like, anytime I wanted to take a corner or just, So anyway, back to business, the point. She told me a sad thing that apparently Technical Pretoria, University of Tshwane, the textile department is closed.
Oh no.
It's closed down. I am telling you, and I even found out from the only doctor of textiles in South Africa, Bram. He was there with me when he was doing his textiles doctorate.
Right.
He has opened up a fashion academy together with Julian from Julian Deco. I don't know if you remember them. They're in Rosebank. Yeah, so I visited them, and Bram as well told me that it's sad. Technical Pretoria has closed down the textile department. I'm like,
that's incredible.
What is this? What happened? Now, textiles is being taught within fashion, which is just going to be like, this bit of it. All right. And then the other time I had, we were at the Duckworks, and then I bumped into, what's his name, Makosa as well. He studied textile design as well, by the way. He's not a fashion designer like people think with his product. So, and he was around the same time as me, but at PE, Technical PE Technical, yeah. And he said to me, the same is happening at PE. Textile department is in shambles. Now, if the institutions are like that, where people need to be taught textiles or how to make textiles, where are we gonna get people, industrialists, people who can manufacture textiles? Because it's not taught in the country right now. It's a problem. Okay, so that's why I say all of these things is contradictory. The next thing, when we our clients as well, they're so happy to go the Chinese route. There's a lot of fabric houses that are importing from China, okay, because of the price points.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that the quality, I'm gonna say it, the quality is so compromised, it's incredible. Some of these fabrics, they even fade under a light bulb,
Jeez, yes,
but
that is true.
they don't see that once it fades, you need to now recover it in like a year's time or two. Whereas if you had bought good quality, it can take you another 10, 5 years. But look, some they'll tell you, oh no, we don't mind. Sure thing, it's fine. But then now, I'm just saying that there is a lot of contradictory happening here. And again, so someone like me who hasn't, I've learned about textile design, but I never got experience in manufacturing it. what experience did I get? It was distribution. I worked for fabric
Right.
houses. Now, you cannot now expect me to come and make fabric, darling. I can distribute it. And like I say, this whole thing of distribution and selling, it even comes from a background. I grew up selling, okay? So I'm not gonna distort my things or myself here, you know? All I need is like, that's why I say, even being the first Black right now, for me, it can be kind of like useless because I'm not getting any perks to come with that. You know, I'm not their favorite.
All you seem to find are challenges, hey?
Exactly. You know, so I wish one day I can whisper to the government regarding this matter of textiles that it's really becoming a problem. I mean, when I was growing up, I used to see farms between Pretoria and Limpopo, cotton farms. They're gone. They are no longer there. The mills that used to, I mean, when we were still at Tech, our projects were coming from textile companies like Colibri. Remember Colibri? They used to do towels.
Yes.
Continental China, they used to make plates. They used to give us projects, and then they'll run a competition between technicons, and then they'll then have the winner, first runner up, and second runner up, and then they'll use guys. So that's how the whole thing was encouraging. But right now, I don't know what those factories are.
Jeez. So do you have any percentage of the textiles made here locally? Any percentage of your own textiles made locally?
Yeah. That's also my mission. Although the Italian guy is the one that, you know, enabled me to get into this whole group. So my mission right now is to get to those who can make textiles here. And even the making of textiles here, it doesn't mean the construction of the actual fabric. No, we still get the base cloth from overseas, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the construction, yeah, it's only a few, or maybe one or two that have machines to construct the fabric. But then again, you look at those fabrics, they're boring in terms of trade. They're very much office look, you know, that kind of thing. So my associate right now, someone that I'm working with, very exciting, fabric bank, Shara, she's so cool. She also studied textiles, but and you see, now she can manufacture. She tells me, she's like, Bridget, you do the selling and I'm like, aha. And that's how I advocate for collaboration and association. You know, that when both of you all need to stay in your lane and then come together for one goal. So she prints fabrics. We're just before COVID, we were talking regarding developing a range of fabric and wallpaper for Chambre Line. The wallpaper one, we even revisited the subject last week. We were sitting with some artists. The lady is so amazing. She does paint techniques on the walls. So I'd like to develop a wallpaper derived from the paint techniques that she does on the walls.
Incredible, so, yeah.
Yeah, so we're sitting, the three of us, and then Shara could take that work. So what we need to do is for the lady to paint on the wall. One of the walls hopefully will be from my house. and then from there, Shara would then transplant that wall feature onto paper, and then we could, there's going to be like I have to find a few walls, you know, that
give it a test drive, huh?
Yeah, so that we can make a nice, you know, thickish book of wallpaper.
Right.
And oh, by the way, I also have I'm in association with a paint factory, so they manufacture paint. So that as well, I'm with them on how we can. You see, that's what I'm saying, that it may seem or look like I'm doing many things at the same time. No, it's just those things that they talk together. It's like they're not taking me away. I'm not going into construction. It's still about surface and textile design. You understand? So paint as well. I've got the eye for color. That's why I did textiles. So paint it's about color as well. You know, being good with color. So
Right.
I'm associated with all those kind of people. You know, and then the other one from South Africa, my lecturer's niece as well. Her brand, it's I Love Josie, something like that. It's
Right,
very
right,
cool.
right.
She's also, but then again, she's just a designer, textile designer. She prints from somewhere else here in South Africa. You understand? So
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying to find locally made fabrics big time.
And so now, in terms of the challenges that were posed because of COVID, you know, how, you know, I think a really intrinsic part of entrepreneurship is being able to pivot. And how have you been able to pivot? Because of course, a lot of your business was affected by COVID because of, you know, the fabrics that you bring in, et cetera, et cetera. So how have you been able to stay afloat during this time?
Oh my word! Can I suggest something though? I know the next question is gonna be about sustainability.
Yes,
right?
You know it.
So can I consolidate the two?
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Pivoting and sustainability. Now, which one will I start with? The pivot or the sustainability?
Anyone
Whichever.
you want to, yeah, go for it.
Okay, to make it flow nicely, then I'll start with like sustainability, because then that brings up this pivoting thing. You need to be able to identify how you like sustainability with your products and or your skills, and how you can bring about sustainability with those things, and then be able to pivot and business repurpose. That's right. Because for me, those two go together, to pivot and business repurpose. Anyway, sustainability, by the way, it's a big part of me, and a big part of this business, which this business somehow is built on sustainability and inspired by sustainability. Why am I saying that? Is that sustainability for me is like right now, I'm busy with this business. I'm sustaining what explains the two things that explain the word endowment. Okay, endowment, but family legacy. I'm sustaining the family legacy, and endowment again. It's the gift from God. So I was gifted to be a creative, how to draw and how to have an eye for color, and so that's I'm sustaining those two with this business, the gift from God and the family legacy. And again, I've been trying to do that so much. That you see the chair I'm sitting on. Can you see
Yeah. Yes.
The chair I'm sitting on?
Right.
It used to be my granddad's recliner chair.
Oh, that's amazing.
Which I reupholstered, and now I'm reusing it. I'm sustaining in that regard. Okay, and the one other thing regarding sustainability. It's now happening with the pivoting. When the government of South Africa asked, when they asked the textiles and entities to now pivot or make fabric masks, we rose to the occasion. Okay.
Right.
My association, Fabric Bank, Shara, we were talking throughout level 5 lockdown. Okay. And also the studio where we do our bags, the handbags, there's a side where they do apparel. So
yes,
how we set up. So we went to them, the ladies did. Shara then had to take over the whole operational thing. I said to her, you go and make them do the mask, and then I will business repurpose my showroom in Kramago, and that's where we can sell the PPEs. So the ladies in the studio where we make our handbags, they're the ones that are now making our masks. See, and then Shara has taken the offcuts from her existing fabrics,
right,
and made the masks. So that's how we to sustain, the whole chain. Okay, so and then my one associates, Magic Code, they make some lovely furniture with some material from Germany. They're quite lovely. What she does then right now, she's making these lovely designer sanitizer holders. I mean, they come in beautiful colors, and you can brand them. So I have those in the showroom as well. I'm selling. So you see, my associate, they can make, but they don't have a structure of the shop. So I said to them, fine, I'm repurposing the shop. Bring your stuff, and then I'll sell from there. So that's how I'm doing the whole thing of sustainability and pivoting. It hasn't been easy, trust me. It's difficult. Again, the fact that we really have to be, what do you call it? We really have to be affordable. Once we used to selling more of luxurious stuff. And look, because I'm all of luxury, even my PPEs, you look at them, they're well priced, but they are very decent. They're very stylish, because that's how I pick my products. They have to resonate with Shambhala. It's about luxury, and I'm gonna keep it that. So you must see the masks that I make. I mean, oh my word! As I was saying, I am even wearing some here.
Yeah, go ahead and show. So it's a hoodie together with a sort of built-in mask. Yeah.
So it's a scarf, and then this is
I really love that. Yeah.
Yes. And then now today I'm actually launching these tees as well. Flatten the curve. So what's happening is, with my associates, this is a range called Breathe. So it's these PPEs from, the fabric is amazing. It's kind to the face, it's lovely. And and then now we have this brand again, it's called Current Tees, like current t-shirts.
Right.
So we're making these, yes. And what's happening is, when you buy one of the Current Tees t-shirts, you can choose your favorite charity, and then we take the percentage of the cost to that charity of your
that's incredible.
of your choice. So
yeah,
those are the things. I mean, right now when I make fun of these things, is that I'm like, since COVID, the creatives have been like a buzz. I think they've developed feelings for COVID. The creatives, because we're getting so much inspired by COVID. That we're coming up with all these lovely things, So I think it's amazing what we're doing. I mean, the one person as well that I've been chatting away with over lockdown, especially the hectic level 5, it's my associate in Italy, that right now, as we speak, he has developed a fabric, especially for COVID, which is antibacterial fabric. So, and I'm waiting for the sample. It must come now. Because yes, it's on its way. I can't wait. So he has done that. I mean, it's going to have all the specs. I mean, it's been made by the special. It's been made up, constructed. When they constructed it, they've used some special thread, which comes from Germany. that's where textile engineering is. Textile engineering is big in Germany. Even the founder of the leading fabric house in South Africa, he's a textile engineer, okay, and from Germany. So that's why I say, we don't have those textile engineers in South Africa. It's again a problem, you see.
Yeah, well, and if the education link is not there any longer,
we must industrialize.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, because if they only knew that there is textile engineering and it's big in Germany. All these machines of textiles, weaving textiles and printing textiles, they are innovated in Germany. And then you know who's gonna copy, right? And then our friends, they copy the machines and be like they were made by them. No, the engineers, the main engineers and good engineers of textiles, they are in Germany. So this fabric is being constructed using this special thread, which has been engineered in Germany, especially for antibacterial. So I cannot wait to get that. So this is what I've been saying, what I've been telling you now is how we've been working around COVID, pivoting, and sustaining the textiles. And what else can I?
Well, I think that repurposing fabric it's an essential part of sustainability. We usually think about only the 3 R's that are constantly thrown about, which is like reduce, recycle, and reuse. But actually, there are 7 R's, and repurposing is one of those R's. So, in order to prevent, textile waste, having them have another life, I think, is really important. But what I'd like to find out from you is that perhaps post-COVID, in your new fabric development, in your new textile development, would you have any textiles that have a focus on environmental sustainability specifically?
Yeah, before that, can I share this as well?
Yeah, go for
it. The repurposing and the sustainability. What we did again is we took from the handbags, the Adrian First bag, we took the lining.
Yes.
And we make masks from the lining here. Okay, you see the lining?
Yes.
Yeah. So we took this lining as well, and we're making the masks. So it's again, the lining is there. It's lying there in the studio. We are not making a lot of bags because nobody needs to carry a bag right now, since everyone is wearing yoga clothes. So
yes.
We took the lining of the handbags and we're making the masks. And the ladies there in the studios can make some living out of this during this challenging times of COVID. Okay, going back to your question regarding the sustainability in terms of fabric and what have you. Look, right now, like I say, in terms of the construction of fabric, it's a bit of an issue in South Africa. I'm one person. I'm one of those that we're going to be going to what's this place, Maison Objet, in Paris, where you get all these people that supply fabric. Yeah. That's where we buy. And yes, since you've planted a seed in my head regarding that, I will be looking out for such fabrics, for such wallpaper that it's all about the environmental sustainability. You understand? That's something to look into. And it's also a conversation for me to can have with my associates in Italy, because like he was telling me with this antibacterial fabric, explaining to me what he's using, and so I think it's about time wherein I can tell him that, look, you need to look at developing fabrics, being aware of the environment. All right. And then I will come back to you, darling. I'll let you know.
Okay. No, that's fair enough, I think. One thing that you haven't spoken about, and I don't know if you would be willing to share, is your association with the Graça Machel Foundation. So perhaps you could just spend 5 minutes talking about that.
Oh, that. Well, I can't say this without mentioning my girls, my two ladies, Desiree and Tanya. They helping me with the business development. Their business is amazing, called 90 and also 90 Africa. They've been so amazing. I don't know where I'll be without them. They're the ones that Desiree actually sent me this link to be like, Bridge, I think you can do this. And there I was, like laying there at home on a Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember. And then I just filled in this form and told them what they wanted to hear about my business and me. And the next thing, I got selected. I'm now making up a part of 120 business ladies or entrepreneurs. And it's the first Grasa Machel Trust Women Creating Wealth 2020 cohort in South Africa. It has been happening in other parts of Africa. And oh my word, what happened? I remember my plans this year was to launch Chamberlain officially in March the 5th. And why March the 5th is because, as I was saying throughout my conversation, that my business is very much inspired by the family legacy and endowment. So on the 5th of March this year, it was my mom's first anniversary in heaven. Oh. So I wanted to do the launch on that day, but due to unforeseen circumstances, it didn't happen. But what happened was the launch of the Grasa Machel Trust Women Creating Wealth cohort. We had the launch on that day. It was amazing to meet up with all the ladies under the same roof. Not knowing that was going to be the last in that gathering, because Corona happened.
Ruined everyone's life right there.
But I'm so grateful to be part of the group, because during the lockdown, the alert level 5, we were kept busy with the Zoom classes, because the cohort, it's like an internship where we're getting taught the science of business. And I've been enjoying it so much. It's incredible. Yesterday, it was so lovely. Actually, I don't know if I should tell, but I'm sure I won't get killed. We were joined by Mama Grasa Machel on our Zoom meeting yesterday. It was amazing.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
And I got to tell her about our issues in the textile industry. So yeah, it's really, I'm having a great time, because there as well, there's a lot of amazing, incredible business women, the ladies, and there are those that we, oh my word, actually within the cohort, there's this other client of mine as well, Nonku Williams. She's a furniture manufacturer herself. So she came up with the idea within the group of ladies of starting a cohort. And as we speak, I'm a member of the co-op, I beg your pardon.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's actually another chat that I have. I'm hoping to actually get a few more participants based around how cooperatives can actually help people to get ahead, because the power of the collective works so much better, especially in this country. And that's something that we can chat about at a later stage. What was your biggest takeaway from chatting with Mama Grasa herself?
Look, she's amazing. She's incredible. And I like the fact that she's honest with us that, look, I am no Messiah, okay? All she can do is just to take us by the hand and show us the doors where to knock. That kind of thing.
Right.
She ain't saying, okay, Bridget, how much you want? No. She's just honest with us that she ain't no Messiah, but what she can do, understanding her stature, is that she can just show us where to knock. which is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. It's big. In my experience now throughout this whole thing with business, that's what I just want and need. Just show me the way to knock, man, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll get there and do my thing. You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. One of the things that I like to usually end off with is, finding out how are you throwing the rope down for someone else. I know that you still have a ways to go before you're going to be satisfied with the level of success that you have. But I think that you've come an incredibly far way in an industry that is incredibly challenging. So
Yeah.
I'd like to know, where are you going to throw the rope down to?
Yeah. Look, that as well is yet a challenge because you know, our industry is very much white dominated. Okay. And even though that didn't look, what I tried as well was to also I tried to hijack actually the existing companies. I, I approached a few that, but I identified them first that they are not family businesses, because if it's a family business, you're not gonna cut it.
Yes, there's no
Which,
way
which is
in.
which is fine. I respect that. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I know of the family endowment stuff, but it's a big thing, and you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Fine. But then so it didn't happen. I had to really just do my own thing because no one was interested anyway. But I'm not angry at anyone, or because I'm like, I want to inspire everyone across color, ethnic group, gender. It's like, of course, we always saying girls, girls, girls. Yes, I'm for that, but I'm also for the boys as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to not, we don't have, we have we have to carry them as well, these guys, in order not to become what we know happens to them afterwards, with the abuse of women or what have you. It's because I think, according to me, it's this thing of like, be with the girls, 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 take a girl child to work. What about the boy child? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying I'm for everyone. Even this thing of being the first black and what have you, and trying to like support black business. I try where I can. But
Mm-hmm.
look, I'm for whoever that can. I mean, even the whites. I'll work with them. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because it's actually then, if, like I said, that the industry is white dominated, who's gonna now help with the transition of the business nature here? It's them,
Mm-hmm.
right? My mentor, for instance, is Tanya Sturgeon from T&Co. And I'm so happy. I'm not saying because she's white, no. It's because she's so skillful. She's a textile designer herself. She owns a fabric house herself. So, and then she actually welcomed me with and took her massive wing. Took me under her massive wing, and she's showing me the rope, and I'm amazed. I mean, one other thing that I'm going to be grateful for when it comes to Tanya. I remember last year when the forwarders were ready to deliver my fabrics, they phoned and they were like, they sent a message like, Bridget, give us the address where we have of your storeroom, where we must deliver your goods. Mm-hmm. I had no storeroom. Mm-hmm. I had no storeroom, but I told you, I take risks, obviously calculated risks. So I do all these calculated risks. And at the time I was with Tanya, I showed her the message. I was like, look at these people, they want to deliver. I don't have a warehouse. I don't have a storeroom. You know what she did? She didn't say a word, but she just wrote down the address of her storeroom.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
And my stuff arrived at Tanya's storeroom. Mm-hmm. And I'm forever grateful. That's why I say, right now, my outlook it's not about picking, being black, or yes, Black Lives Matters right now, obviously, but it's about more of what can I do with who's willing, who wants to do what with me, you know, the whole collaboration, you know, identifying things like that. So as for throwing down the rope, look, that's why my concern right now of textile design institution, it's a problem. You know, whom am I going to throw the rope to? Because you have to have an understanding of fabric. You have to. It's not like you know, should I say spaza shop?
Yeah.
No, it's something that's, like I said, nobody, I'm sure none of us could get out of technical and start their own business in textile. There's no way. I heard to have the 13 years in this industry to do this. Now,
right.
Up to me how I need to find a way of identifying people or youngsters that can really, you know, I can throw the rope down to, which I am interested, love to do that. I'd love to do that. I mean, I've got a story to tell. So that maybe I should write a book, you know, and then they can take it from there, you know, compile one thing, you know, how to go about with us. Yeah.
Well, I certainly hope that you'll be paying it forward. You've been given many opportunities, you know, to get to where you are, and I think the success tastes a whole lot better when you're able to drag someone along with you. You know, when you're able to pay it forward. So I hope that we'll see a lot more interesting things coming from your space. You know, you are doing amazing things, and you are in a challenging space, and we need to see more people of color in that space. You know, regardless of whether it is going to be gender or whatever it is. But the thing is, historically white industries need to see some change, and the change is not actually going to start only with the white people in those industries. It starts with the people of color in those industries. It starts with people of color in those industries making space for other people of color in those industries. And you know, you're pivotal for that happening. You know, you're one of the voices that can speak the loudest about just what those challenges are in the industry, etc. But anyway, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to ask any of the participants, are there any questions for Bridget? Because I am going to wrap up. I've taken enough of her time, and we've gone over by by 4 minutes already. So any questions, anyone? All right, great stuff. So I will be sharing this this record. Oh, hang on, I've got Lindy. Lindy, I'm going to unmute you, and then you can just ask your question. Or maybe you can just unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay. Hi, Bridget. Thank you so much for the session. It was so inspiring to hear your story. What really is important for me was when you touched the part about sourcing. I remember about a week ago, we were attending an online course for design and technology. And in my group, one of the things that we did was a presentation, a pitch on sourcing, because it seemed that with all the designers in Africa, the problem was sourcing and textile designs and not having local manufacturing companies. So I just wanted to ask around that if you guys know of any companies that are locally manufacturing fabrics and they do textiles besides with you.
Yeah, like guys, what's your name? Sorry, I forgot. I didn't get your name. Lindy.
It's
Oh, hi,
Lindy.
Lindy. Hi, Lindy.
Hi.
Yes. Thanks for the question. Like I said, it's a bit of a tricky one. I do know of you, but like I say, very limited techniques or style that is there as well. You know, and unfortunately for us, because remember one thing, what's tricky here is the fact that that's why I'm talking about textile engineering and textile design. It needs to happen because some of these techniques, they're the folk or the what do you call this? Or the endowment of other countries or other cultures. Like the Italians, they have this, the meal, my associates in Italy, their meal is of 6th generation now. You understand? So now, if we don't even have textile design institutions here, how are we going to be able to make to construct a velvet fabric? And again, other factors that are making this whole thing tedious is the fact that the African weather as well is a problem towards, let's say, the farming of silkworms to make the silk fabric. You see, so those factors are a bit tricky. So the fabrics that are manufactured here, I can promise you, I'll share with you the list and have a look if it's what you would really want to run with, because I don't even think there's any fabric mill for apparel fabric here. I don't think there's anyone that's making apparel fabric in South Africa. I doubt it. So it's like I said, there are tricky situations with South Africa right now. We need support in being able to transplant some of these mills from India to South Africa, from Italy to South Africa, or any other part of the world to South Africa, wherein people are willing to teach us the skills and even bring the machineries here to be able to make production here in South Africa for the fabrics. Did I answer you well?
Yeah, very well. Thank you. And I like this idea of bringing the stuff here at home.
Yes, exactly right. That's I'm going to cut in here because we do have, I think of recent times, it's not a very old thing. We have the South African Cotton Cluster that was, I think, co-founded, or one of the founding partners was the Mr. Price Foundation as well. So an interesting place to start in terms of getting technology in that way and learning how to farm the cotton properly, and with principles of fair trade, with organic, maybe having organic certifications, et cetera, is the cotton cluster. So I would encourage you, Lindiwe, to go and Google the South African Cotton Cluster and see the work that they're doing too, because they are doing some interesting things. Like Bridget says, we do have a ways to go in terms of quality, but it's only when enough voices start talking about the fact that, hey, we need technology transfers, or hey, we need skills transfer, we need educational transfer, et cetera, then people in those industries sit up and go, oh, wait, the market wants this. We are the ones that actually steer the market. And we just have to be sure about where we want to steer it toward. But yeah, so if there are no more questions from anyone, I'm going to thank you all incredibly for your time. Bridget, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you sharing your story. I think it's amazing. The takeaways are huge. I think that your life lessons are, in essence, very much intrinsically connected to your entrepreneurial lessons too. And I think that there are many takeaways from this conversation. And I really thank you for sharing your story with us. I hope that your connection with the Graça Machel Trust opens up many, many doors for you, and for other people that want to enter the space. Like I said, wherever you found the link to this particular talk, so whether it was Instagram or Facebook, or my website, rayofgreen.wordpress, you're going to find the recording for this, so you can please share it with whoever you need to share it with. And yeah, look out for some more. There's an interesting lineup. It's on the website as well. And yes, I thank you all for your support, and thank you very much, Bridget, for coming. Chat with you guys again next week. Bye.
Bye.